Hey everyone, Sean, the What's Up Dude, here at the Isle Cache Museum. So this place has a museum that we can explore, so I'll show you a little bit of that. There's also nature trails where you can walk and see a couple things. I'm going to show you that, and then I'm also going to be showing you an old bridge. This is Sean, the What's Up Dude. We have an information booth right here. This will tell you where everything is that you want to see and tell you about different events, different things that you can do here. Sometimes you can rent out some of the shelters that they have built here. You can take a boat out on the river, and you can volunteer as well. There is opportunities for that. Now, if you have a phone, you can scan. It will give you the information there too. Alright, so we are in the museum. The sign says, "Welcome to Isle Cache, the island of hiding place." This small island, you explore the story of people who exchanged goods and cultures for 200 years. Fur trade connected French and Native American people to the Great Lakes. Alright, if you have kids, you can bring them in here. They can make a little footprint fossil. Just push down on it, and when you pull it out, that's what you get. So the fur trade begins with beavers. Driving in North America rivers, wetlands, and woodlands, beavers were practically everywhere in the 1700s, especially the Great Lake region. For Native Americans and European traders, abundant beavers became a valuable resource as an important link between two different cultures. So beaver fur is actually waterproof, and a beaver fur keeps it warm and dry. Here you have a map that shows you the different areas that they would explore. Right here we have a sample of the fur, and then an old-fashioned gun. So this place has a hidden story. In French, Isle Cache means island of hiding place. It's possible that French and Potawatomi met here to trade on voyages might have stored trade goods here. But this island's exact history during the fur trade era remains a mystery. So there's tons of storage for fur trade. That's what they would do. And then they would used to travel by canoe on the waters. Here it shows that abundant beavers were easy prey. The Native Americans that were here, they used trappers. They could observe beavers' predictable daily activities and raid their lodges when they knew beavers were inside. Other animals with luxurious coats, such as otters and foxes, were harder to find and trap. And since Europeans valued beaver fur more highly than any other kind, Native Americans had a readily available high-value commodity. So beavers marked their own landscape, and lodges provide comfort and safety. So here's a little quick video about beavers.
For building dams and lodges. They will also eat tree matter, including twigs and new tree growth. Some of their favorite trees are maple, willow, and river birch.
So right here it shows when true worlds meet. The fur trade brought changes for beavers in history. Beavers changed the landscape, and they changed the course of history in North America. And the fur trade took its toll on the beavers. So with using their fur, they actually ended up not being as abundant once that happened. Here's a couple furs that you can put around you if you want to. Way of life for the Native Americans. Long before Europeans came to the Great Lakes region, local tribes exchanged and shared resources. Trade was vital to Native American life, connecting different tribes across the Midwest and through North America. New trade relationships developed by this, and then the Potawatomi became individual partners to the voyagers. There's a little picture here just showing them doing a trade. So I got some arrowheads. So they would craft different materials and tools depending on what they needed. And then we have life in a Potawatomi wigwam. So made of sapling trees, bark, and other natural material, a dome-shaped wigwam was the home for one or two families. Step inside and take a look at the tools, clothes, and other items. So they built their own homes, and basically they would adjust what they use for the building that they built with materials for seasonal things. And here's a wigwam right here. We'll take a duck inside. I'm kind of tall, so but right here we have it would be a campfire, the food they would eat, and it just shows it's a dome, and this is where they would live. So nature provided for every need. The Great Lakes region offered a bounty of resources, and the Potawatomi knew how to use their skillful families depended on their knowledge of animals, plants, and minerals to meet their daily needs. They maximized local resources, but deeply valued the land as its gift. So making a living off the land required hard work. They had to explore and go through different areas. They had to fish, they had to hunt. A lot of people in today's society, it would be really hard for them to do that. And here's an example of them planting. Potawatomi explored or expertly used animal resources. Long before the voyage arrived, the Potawatomi trapped and hunted. Their expertise made them invaluable partners for the voyagers. So Native Americans did respect the animals. Traditionally, the Potawatomi and the other Native Americans were careful to only kill what they needed. They didn't waste. So if they did hunt animals, they used every piece of the animal. And then women prepared the fur trade. And then this is some traditional garb. Abreza, ahane wambre anko piero, hey oh. Cha chega ke hey na wa piche, bejuta abreza, ahane wambre anko piero, hey na wa piche. Right here, we actually have a few friends. Welcome to Turtle Island. So we got the turtles swimming around. Last time I counted, there should be 4 of them. So one is Jackie, one is Shirley. Let's see what the other ones are up to. And then we have Hungry Hippo and Taco. So it looks like right now I can only see 2 of them, one floating over there and one on the rock in the back. The other 2 are kind of hiding in the water somewhere. But yeah, you can come visit these guys if you want, and they'll always be here. Bejuta abreza, ahane wambre anko piero, hey oh. Cha chega ke hey na wa piche, bejuta abreza, ahane Well, right here you actually have some hands-on displays that you can do. So this one says squeeze the bottle and sniff the air. So this has unique scents, just like you were pollinating like a bee. Right here, this is an interactive area for children. So you can come in here, there's different hats, costumes, furs that you can put on, so kids could dress up and be a pirate or a colonel. This is my son Derek's favorite room. He likes to come in here and try all these clothes on. And if you want, they'll give you some ideas of what to put together. And you have different options. So this right here, this is a life-size mural painted on the wall. This is just a multi-purpose room with books, and got a little coloring area. If you have kids, if you want to relax for a minute, you can sit on some cozy chairs and watch some birds and look outside and enjoy the scenery. We actually have a gift shop and an information desk if you want to come over there and buy some merchandise and find out more information about the museum. There is a donation box, just to thank for the support of what they're doing here. And then if you have any helpful tips, you can do that as well. Here, this goes in different directions, but you can explore the Des Plaines River. And they have different sites that you can go to. We'll go to a couple of those and show you what they got. There's a little bridge. Also, if you are a person that likes to fish, this area you can fish at, and you might catch something, but I will say watch out. We have seen some snakes out here. You don't want to step on one of those, but just watch where you're walking. But there's a lot to explore in this area and enjoy the outdoor scenery and get some fresh air. Well, right now I'm headed up to an area called Living on the Land. They have a little facility that was built just like the museum said, with materials from outdoors, different twigs and mud and whatever they could find. So we're gonna reach that area. Now what's kind of nice too, sometimes they do shows right here where they'll have either an Indian dance and a fire, and people can sit around and enjoy. Or if you just want to sit down and enjoy the scenery, you could do that as well. So this is the longhouse that we're headed to, and we'll take a look. So little information on the longhouse. It was built for many people. So it's built out of the forest. And you can read up some more information on that. But as you can see, we're headed up and you can see the longhouse right there. Sometimes they do have tours where they'll let you inside and see what's actually in there, but a lot of times that would be where multiple families would live. Indian families would live in here. And this is why it's called the longhouse, because it is much longer than your average building that they would make out of those materials. And then over there, they would, if they're not in the house, they would have a fire. They have it set up where you can come out here and sit down and enjoy a fire. This is the main door, so you just get a view of what this looks like. As you can tell, everything's made out of different variations of tree and bark and different woods. Headed back to the water area in the back. Me and my dad used to go fishing back there, and you can see my dad up there walking toward it. Right here, this little area that we're in, this was a Potawatomi Indian tribe village, and they lived off the river so they could fish. and they would use resources out here to survive. They would use the wildlife and the trees if they needed. They would use the trees and the mud, dirt, whatever they could find to build sort of like what that looks like. Here's a picture of kind of one of the little buildings that they created, and then they would make a fire and cook up some food and provide for their families. There's a sign right here celebrating 175 years of the I&M Canal. The Forest Preserve District of Will County is a proud partner in celebrating the 175th anniversary of the opening of the I&M Canal, a steward of properties along Illinois and Michigan Canal National Heritage Area. So you can read some more information on that. And there is much more to see at this. You can go deeper into the facility, and they have little walkways that you can walk on, and you get some exercise and see nature firsthand. So right here you have Centennial Trail. This is less than a mile down the road from the Cache Museum and Forest Preserve. And we have the Forest Preserve of Centennial Trail. There is little information about Centennial Trail. It goes all the way to Lamont, Illinois. It's over 6 miles if you want to walk, or you can ride your bike. There's a lot of people that ride their bike out here. And you go on the path of this bridge. We'll walk over there. The bridge actually used to be a moving bridge that you could drive on, but it's more now just a walking path. Some more information. Centennial Trail and Veterans Memorial Trail, 135th Street to Interstate 355. While you're here, they ask that you do stay on the trails that they have marked, because you could get lost. This is a lot of forest area. We're on the bridge. And right in there is the little water area. But here is the bridge. Just to show you how big it is, and you can go as far as you want on the trail. I'm not going to go all the way out on the trail right now because I still am healing from my work injury. But I'll get on the bridge and I'll show you both directions. So we got the water here, and then you got the forest over here. There is several people that are riding their bikes to get some exercise and enjoy the landscape that you have here. All right, that is all I have to show you for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are in Romeoville, Illinois, come out and visit this area. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel and share with your friends so they can see some more interesting things.